Once again from DPL Surveillance Equipment. How are you guys doing this morning? Looks like it's going to be a nice, gorgeous day out here in paradise in Camarillo, California. Our hearts go out again to the people in Florida suffering from the ravages of Hurricane Michael. One second. Got to go into an area where there's a little bit of noise. Seems like every leaf blower on the planet is out and about today for some reason. And I've got to make my own noise as well. Just want to make some small talk. So how you guys doing? Me and my wife are going to run some errands, stuff our faces, spend some Bitcoin money. It looked like the stock markets and the various indices overall are going through a bearish phase right now. Let's see. Let me get away from this noise. Let's see. So yeah, it looks like the Dow Jones is showing a little bit of weakness, definitely. I think we were down at least 800 points a couple of days ago. I don't know what today is. Got to check on today and see how we're doing today. But right now, and I think investor sentiment shows a lack of confidence, a lack of enthusiasm, definitely. Excuse me. Well, I guess the good news is this preacher held hostage in Turkey has been released. So I guess he's flying back to the United States. Thank goodness for that. I'm going to acknowledge the good things that Trump is doing or maybe responsible for, in addition to bringing up the bad things that are negative, that I don't like. So I give credit where credit is due. And at the same time, if there's screw-ups and fuck-ups, I'm going to mention that. So, I'm not biased towards anything except ignorance. But yeah, when someone does something, does a good job, I'm definitely going to not acknowledge it. Having said that, what else is going on? Let's see. We have, I think gold has been trying to climb up a little bit. Oil is taking a breather. You guys aren't paying as much money for a tank of gas. At least it looks like it could take you could get a breather. But overall, gas the per barrel price of oil it looks like it's going to be going up. So eventually at the pumps, you're going to see more and more higher prices, definitely at the pumps. So you may want to prepare for that. My name is Monty Henry, owner of DPL Surveillance Equipment. I run a full-service surveillance and security equipment company. We do have lifetime guarantees and warranties on all the products, 24/7, 365 tech sales and customer support. We have the largest inventory of items that not only can you buy, but you can rent and lay away as well. We do have a huge number of new items, in addition to used items on the website. The used items are the formerly rented items. The new products, of course, are all state-of-the-art. They're law enforcement grade items, 24/7, 365 tech sales and customer support on all of those items. By the way, we accept Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and Bcash in the shopping cart. You crypto millionaires, like I know that haven't been involved in cryptocurrencies since about 4 or 5 years. You're doing just fine. So you may want to drop some of that crypto wealth into our shopping cart and get your state-of-the-art spy gadgets. I know a lot of you are like I am, like to collect gadgets and play with toys and cool items. He who has the best toys or something when they die, I guess, is the winner. Not that I plan on dying, but I guess as long as you accumulate as much as possible, right? neat toys and things to play with. What else is going on? Poke a finger in the eye of MasterCard, Visa, American Express, or Discover. That's what we do, right? We want to make you guys aware of the fact that that is a money-losing proposition. When you give money or participate in the traditional fiat system, you suffer. You pay the price. Anybody who thinks MasterCard and Visa, American Express, and those guys are actually helping businesses and helping the economy, they're wrong. Those guys take $70 billion alone just from merchants like myself and retailers, and we have to, guess what we have to do? We have to increase our prices for the products and services that you buy, so everything goes up. Your consumers are getting away with murder with the chargebacks and the disputes and all of that crap, and that's adding more and more costs, right? More overhead, so prices again and services again go up because of that madness. When you use Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, it's treated like a cash transaction. We don't worry about chargebacks and stuff like that because it's like cash, right? Once you hand it over, that's it. We have to be a responsible adult with cryptocurrencies, particularly when you buy stuff. You have to talk to the merchant, talk to the retailer, figure out how to resolve the issue. If there's a defective product or a bad service or something, you talk to the retailer like grown-ups do. That's what grown-ups do, by the way. They talk to each other. They don't go and get some third party who doesn't even have much skin in the game except for charging everybody a lot of money to be an intermediary. So we need to get away from that system. It's childish, it's immature, and it's archaic, and it's prehistoric. What else is going on? The website is completely redesigned, optimized for mobile. The SEO project, we're going to be taking a look at a search engine optimization project that's going to help make the products and the website more easy to find, hopefully in the search engines. That'll be coming up soon. What else is going on? Let's take a look at the article before we get too far ahead of ourselves, because this article, I'll give you a little teaser, is going to give you a very good idea of how the economy, despite Trump's insistence and those guys in the administration that the economy is booming, this is another indicator that it's probably not booming as much, or at least not for most people, because this article and podcast, we're going to talk about the retirement accounts that you guys have, your 401ks, for instance. So getting right to it, the article is entitled "The $210 Billion Risk in Your 401k." Again, the $210 billion risk in your 401k. Annual defaults on loans taken against investors' 401ks threaten to reduce the wealth in U.S. retirement accounts by about $210 billion when the lost savings are compounded over employees' careers, according to an analysis by Deloitte Consulting, LLP. The projected future loss amounts to about 2.7% of the $7.8 trillion currently in 401k-style retirement accounts. The numbers highlight the problem of tapping 401k savings before retirement, known in the industry as leakage. Most leakage occurs because about 30 to 40% of people leaving jobs elect to cash out their accounts and pay taxes or penalties rather than leave the money or transfer it to another 401k or an individual retirement account. I have to say, that is a very critical period. When you change jobs, you guys, remember, this is not an opportunity to cash out your retirement account. Your retirement account is totally different, totally separate. Transfer that retirement account from one company to the other, or transfer that 401k into a self-directed IRA or something. This is not the time to take money out of your retirement account because you changed jobs or something. You're still going to have to retire. You're still going to need as much money as possible, not a dime less, but as much as possible. So again, don't get into this mindset that it's okay to liquidate that 401k account. Okay, you don't want to do that. Moving right along. But employees also take out loans, which about 90% of 401k plans offer. Workers can generally choose to borrow up to half of their 401k balance of $50,000, whichever is less. About one-fifth of 401k participants with access to 401k loans take them, according to the Investment Company Institute, a mutual fund industry trade group. While most 401k borrowers repay themselves with interest, about 10% default or fail to repay their accounts, triggering taxes and often penalties, according to research by authors including Olivia Mitchell, an economist at the University of Pennsylvania's Wharton School. Failing to restore the funds typically occurs when employees with outstanding 401k loans leave companies before fully repaying their balances. Again, when you borrow money out of your 401k, you probably 9 times out of 10 you're making a stupid mistake. Okay, borrow money from somewhere else, not your 401k plan. That's not a piggy bank. Your home, it's not a piggy bank. When you do your home equity loans and all of that other crap to fund vacations and to do things that are personal or whatever, you're making a mistake. Okay, you guys, you're not being financially savvy at all with some of the moves that you guys are making. Home equity loans are used for the wrong purposes. 401k loans are used for the wrong purposes. And according to these figures, according to these numbers and analysts, a lot of people are going to be stuck depending upon government welfare at the rate they're going. Moving right along. While 401k loan defaults currently amount to about $7.3 billion a year, the impact is far greater, given that many borrowers in default withdraw additional money to cover the taxes and early withdrawal penalties they owe on their outstanding balances. So says Gershom Juti, senior manager at Deloitte Consulting. Again, not only are you guys taking out critical money of your retirement out of your retirement account, but you stop contributing, of course, right? I mean, I guess if you can afford to contribute, you wouldn't be such in a hurry to borrow money in the first place or take a loan out of the account, right? So remember, that goes hand in hand. That does go hand in hand. When you take money out of your 401k account and you take a loan out, most of the time you're going to be postponing your contributions. Okay. So you got a double whammy. You're not contributing regularly when you're borrowing. And in addition to that, the money you're borrowing, you got to pay taxes on it and such, particularly if you don't pay back, okay? So the early withdrawal penalties and the state and federal taxes and all that are going to be extremely high, okay? That's not very smart, not very savvy, okay? Very stupid mistake. Moving right along. About 2/3 of participants who default liquidate their accounts, he adds. As a result, Deloitte projects that those who default on loans worth $7.3 billion this year will drain about $48 billion from their retirement accounts. If the $48 billion were to remain in their accounts, it would be worth $210 billion by retirement age, assuming a 6% annual return, Deloitte calculated. So again, he's letting you guys know in the aggregate and the larger scheme of things, $48 billion, which is, typically is what these averages are based upon, which have been taken out, that could amount to an additional $210 billion worth of retirement savings for nationwide. So again, these guys are looking at the aggregate in terms of what happens when that $7.3 billion stays in there versus being defaulted on. And you only need a 6% annual return for the whole nation on average to have at least $210 billion worth of retirement savings. Moving right along, few employers are willing to eliminate 401k loans in part because academic studies have shown that they encourage 401k plan participation. But Deloitte, which offers consulting services to 401k and traditional pension plans, recommends that companies consider ways to reduce workers' use of loans, steps many companies are starting to take. So that concludes that particular article and podcast. This is pretty much short and sweet. If I find anything else about retirement accounts being used for loans and how many people are defaulting, or any statistics or whatever, graphics, whatever, even YouTube videos, I'll include it with the article and the podcast. But right now, just be aware of the fact that this is probably a little known secret, and a lot of people are abusing it, and a lot of people are going to suffer I know some people personally who are not doing very well because they got into the habit of dipping into that 401k, and now that most of that money is gone, they have very little cushion to fall back on. And believe it or not, when you start to exhaust all of your financial cushion or whatever, at some point you're going to be hurting. You're going to be in a very dire situation. So again, this is just another indication that the economy is probably not booming as much as some people would like to say it's booming. I don't know why anyone would say that, given all of the stuff that I've been pointing to. Okay, these are hard facts. Analysts and consulting companies and everyone is saying that the debt is too much outstanding. Retirement account, early withdrawals, corporate debt, 6.7 trillion, household debt, 13.3 trillion, government debt, 22 trillion. It just goes on and on and on. So don't be one of the people, you guys, who are going to be hurting, particularly if we go through an economic downturn. This is really important when you go through an economic downturn. The credit's going to be cut off. Okay, the banks and other institutions that typically provide credit to people who want it or need it, when things are good, it's not a problem. But when the economy turns down, guess what? They're going to cut off your credit cards. They're going to cut off your loans. All of those things, they get locked down. When the economy slows down, and like when you go into a recession, that's what happens. Credit tightens up. Only the best of the best are going to get any loans, and that usually means corporate types are going to get loans and credit, not consumers for the most part. So again, start preparing. Be ready and make some sacrifices. If you need to increase your education, go back to school, go to a library, something, do that. But improve your skill set so you can make more money, put more money away, and not worry so much. We're going to conclude this particular podcast. I like to say at the end of every podcast, keep your eyes and ears open and stay safe out there.